Hello and welcome to another Scardcast Battle Report. Today, the asteroid belt is under attack once more, and the Crimson Fist chapter is to stave off an attack in real space by Archon Skari, the Blade, in this open war mission. Let's begin. So we're here on asteroid D66, and welcome to another Scardcast Battle Report. And I'm playing Rob today. Say hello, Rob.
Hey guys.
He has brought his Crimson Fists, and we're playing 1,500 points versus 1,500 points on the asteroid table. That is the table the Patreons built. So I thought I'd crack it open again today. We've got the Drukhari facing off against the Crimson Fists in this open war mission. So we've got the cards ready, right, Rob?
Almost.
Almost ready.
Shuffling.
He's still shuffling them. As you can see here, we've got the cool table. There's a bunch of different stuff going on. It's all very thematic. There's also a platform up here, an asteroid held up, which is pretty cool. We've got the maintenance platform floating on space. And I cannot wait. This is one of my favorite tables to play on. Definitely very different dynamic playing on a 3D table like this. So Rob's built an army that has some flyers and stuff, some guys that can jump around, so that it's very tough to play against a Drukhari on a table like this.
Yeah.
They're real space. We just jump in and we fly around. It's pretty cool. Okay, so let's take a look at the mission that we are playing. What is our deployment? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, just straight up 12 inches. I like it. What is our objective? Take and hold. We put one marker in the center of the battlefield, and then one in each of our deployment zone. And whoever gets more at the end of the game wins. If somebody controls all three, then they win automatically. Very cool. And what is our twist this match? Meeting battle. We set up one contingent, and we have a second contingent that comes in at the second movement phase. Oh, it's 3 different contingents, so we have to split our army into 3 waves. Okay, let's take a look at what forces we have brought to battle before we draw the battle line. Okay, and here we have 1,500 points of Drukhari. So we have 2 battalion detachments that will be facing off against Rob and his army. So we've got, leading the pack, Archon Skari himself with a husk blade and a blast pistol. I will probably be running him with a Jin blade and eternal hatred. He also has his Drakon, another Archon with a venom blade and a splinter pistol. Then in the elite slot, we have 5 incubi with a Clavex, ready to cut down some foes in real space. The core of the battalion is 3 Cabalite warrior squads, each squad with a Sibrite, and then you have the 2 with blasters and 1 with no blaster whatsoever, and an old school guy right there. We also have a Venom with 2 cannons, 1 Raider with a disintegrator cannon, and a second Raider with a disintegrator cannon. So there you have it. The battalion is Blackheart, and it also includes this Razorwing jet fighter with disintegrator cannons and a splinter cannon. Then we have a Witch Cult battalion led by Lilith Hesprax herself. I just painted her up. Really excited to use the model. She's tabletop standard. She still needs some details. She's got her trusty Succubi with an Archite glaive and a splinter pistol, and 3 units of witches. So we've got 1 unit of 5 with a shard net and impaler, 1 unit of 5 with a shard net and impaler, and a unit of 8 with Hydra gauntlets. They have a Raider with a disintegrator cannon and 2 Venoms with double cannons. We also have 10 Hellions and 5 Scourge with 3 haywire blasters. And this is 1,500 points of Drukhari, ready to face off against all foes. Really cool looking list. Okay, let's move on to Rob's army. And here we have 1,500 points of Primaris Crimson Fists, piloted by the one, the only, Rob of Crimson Fist legend. He's toned down his crazy, like, 50 million Space Marine army and brought 1,500 points of hard-hitting Primaris Marines ready to face off against the Drukhari Real Space Raid. So, Rob, take it away. What have you brought today?
So at the front I have my characters. I have a Primaris Librarian.
I love that model. Such a cool looking model.
And then I have an Apothecary on a bike.
Yep, that's an index choice.
Yep.
Yep.
And then I have our good old Captain Smash Bleeper.
Smash Bleeper! This guy was probably one of the MVPs at the Canhammer Team Tournament with his super relic Power Fist of Death. And he's ready to just punch you in the face.
Yep. Behind him, we have two 5-man intercessor squads.
With the sergeants are all converted. They've got power swords and heads that you can tell them apart really easily. There's also a grenade launcher in every unit, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Those ones are also converted.
Cool.
And then behind them, we have standard 5-man Hellblaster unit.
Yeah, we know what they do.
Yeah. And then behind them, 3 Inceptors.
These guys are just killing machines.
To his right, we have my Dreadnought.
With
That's the Redemptor Dreadnought with the DACA variant.
Gatling guns.
Oh, yeah. And then we have the Transport.
Yep.
With the some aggressors at the front.
Right.
Yeah.
The repressor, is that a twin last cannon and
yeah,
Punisher gun?
the repulsor has the Punisher cannon turret.
Yeah.
And then it has the twin last cannons at the front.
Yeah. It's a great little tank, that.
Oh, yeah.
5 aggressors.
4 aggressors.
4 aggressors. I can't count, apparently.
Okay.
And
then just one more 5-man intercessor squad.
Okie dokie, with another sergeant. And that, fellow hobbyists, is a really cool Primaris Space Marine 1,500 point list with a lot of punch to it and versatility. So if you want to leave a comment down below, you can ask Rob any questions. He's one of the best Primaris Space Marine players on the net. So check out his cool list he took to the Canhammer Team Tournament, tabling pretty much every single person he played against. Okay, let's go to the mission. Open war, begin. Okay, and we return after deployment. And there is much space. So it is an open war mission. We've divided our army into 3 forces. Each force cannot have more than half the total number of units. I had 20 units in my army. So I've got Archon, 5 Cabalite Warriors in that Raider. The Blade, Archon Skari, is in his converted Raider. I've got Lilith Hesperex, Succubus, Skari, 5 Cabalite Warriors. I've got 8 Witches, Archon, the Dracon, and Lilith Hesperex in that Raider. And I have 5 Incubi hiding behind here in their dual cannon Venom. The objectives are this one here. The one in the center, which is on the bridge to the spaceport. And guess where the other one is? That's right. Right in between all those Space Marines holding the spaceport. It's very iconic here. So we have 2 more forces to come in. The first force comes in 2nd turn. The third force comes in 3rd turn. So Rob has the aggressors, the inceptors, the Hellblasters, and Captain Smashface in one of his forces, and the tank, the repulsor tank, 5 intercessors, and the apothecary in his second wave. I have one wave with 2 Venoms with 5 witches in each, and a Razorwing. And my second wave is 2 Cabalite Warrior units in a Raider, and 10 Hellions, and the Scourge in my second wave. Okay, so at the end of the game, it's 5 turns, because it's open war. I did finish deploying first, so I do get to go first, and in open war, there's no Cs. It's just a fun, quick way of playing games with your friends and rolling some dice. So let me know what you think down below. Every time I play Rob's Crimson Fists, I lose. Well, that's been the case so far. So hopefully my aggressive tactics can take the asteroid field, or maybe he will defend the space port to the last man. Okay, let's begin. The Drukhari have advanced forward. Lilith, Hesprax, 8 witches, and an Archon in a raider, advancing on the spaceport at full speed, while Archon Skari has stayed back with his Cabalite warriors and the Succubus. And combined shooting of the disintegrated cannons and the venom with the incubi have killed 1 unit of 5 intercessors. And now we're moving on to the Space Marine. First turn, we've got the Librarian with Null Zone and Might of Heroes, the Dreadnought, and 5 intercessors holding off the Drukhari advance. Space Marine turn 1. The Space Marines have valiantly pushed towards the bridge, following their Librarian Warlord, who casted Null Zone of Might of Heroes on himself. The entire Dreadnought shooting, the intercessors, and a charge finally killed the Dark Eldar Raider, killing 2 of the witches in the ensuing explosion. They were all able to disembark behind the Raider, and now they've surrounded their Warlord, hoping to keep him alive for just a moment longer. Lilith Hesprax looking at the prey, wanting to get through the intercessors to get to the prize in the middle, like a Cadbury cream egg.
Delicious.
Delicious in the center. Okay, so now it's going on to turn 2. So after my second turn, I will be picking one of my forces to arrive. They can arrive 9 inches from any board edge, outside of the opponent's deployment zone, away from the enemy units, and he will then get to pick one to counter mine. So that's pretty cool to think of it that way. Okay, so let's move on to the second turn as the battle for the asteroids starts to get heated. Yeah. Okay, so Drukhari turn 2. I used enhanced sails to boost Archon Skari and his cronies up that flank. And then the witches all charged in. After I brought in the Razorwing and 2 units of witches in Venoms. And all the shooting killed the unit of intercessors, and I charged in with Lilith, the Dracon, and the witches. The Librarian attacked the witches, killing 3 of them. And then I killed the Librarian, and then he swung back at Lilith using Might of Heroes, or only in Death Does Duty End.
Yes.
And he did 2 wounds on Lilith, because she has +1 toughness. And then the Ruse card was played, which is
Revenge!
So now, because I killed his Warlord, the entire Space Marine army gets +1 to wound every single one of my units for the rest of the battle. Uh-oh. They are not happy that I killed their Warlord. So moving into Space Marine turn 2, and we have the spaceport being defended, being assailed by all sides. He has to defend that spaceport, or I could get a sudden death victory if I control all 3 objectives at the end of any given player turn. Okay, moving on to the next. Okay, so turn 2 for the Space Marines. All the Gauntlet guys came on this side. He's got +1 to wound everything. This Raider survived with 1 wound remaining. The Inceptors over here helped. Well, I lost a Venom. I lost 3 of the Incubi, but Captain Smashface jumped in, killed 3 Incubi, and then the Clavex did a lethal precision, 3 damage hit, and it got through his invulnerable save, even with a reroll. Oh no, the Storm Shield failed him right at a crucial moment in the game. And the Dreadnought took out the Venom. So we're moving on to turn 3 for the Drukhari, and the last wave will arrive. So turn 3 for the Drukhari. They passed morale automatically, I'm assuming? Yeah, 2, right?
They lost 2, they're 8 with the guy, yeah.
So I brought the Scourge and the Raider with 10 Cabalite Warriors in there. Both Venoms with Witches moved up the board. The Razewing has moved up. I charged everything I could into this Dreadnought, and I've done 4 wounds with shooting and combat. The Cabalite Warriors here, there's battle raging here by the objective. I've surrounded the Dreadnought, he can't get away. And then we have this Raider move that way, and I did kill 2 of those aggressors. I killed 1 Inceptor, and the Hellions came out on this flank and failed their charge. They needed a 9-inch charge. They failed to get into the Hellblasters. And Lilith as well. She failed to jump over space here and get into the Hellblasters as well. So, now the way the mission works is it's progressive scoring. So you get 1 point for each objective that you hold. But if you held it your previous turn, you get 3 points instead of 1. So Rob had his turn 1 and then turn 2. So he got 4 points for that. I had both of these turn 1 and then nothing turn 2 because there was a flyer here. So I got 0 points turn 2. But now I got 3 points. So now it's 5 points for the Drukhari, 4 points for the Space Marines. And we're moving on to turn 3 for the Space Marines. Okay, end of Space Marine turn 3. Many things happening across the battlefield. We had the repulsor tank come in, take 9 wounds off of that Raider, kill 2 of the Scourge. Then we had the aggressors gain 1 back thanks to the apothecary on a bike. They charged into that Raider, killed it, so they get extra movement to be threatening this entire area of the board. The Inceptors moved in and killed the Cabalite Warriors, while the Dreadnought punched Archon Skari in the face, failed his Shadow Field save, and he took 3 damage. In the meantime, I did 3 wounds to the Dreadnought, even though the Incubi put 2 precision strikes on there for 6 damage, and he passed both of his 6+ armor saves he had to make. But the Dreadnought now has 6 wounds remaining. And then on this side, the Hellblasters shot into the Hellions, killing 5. Luckily, they passed their morale test, and the Intercessors fired into Lilith Hesperax and succeeded in putting a wound on her. So we're moving... Oh, and now because he had this one last turn, he gets another 3 points for having 2 models next to it. 3 models next to it, sorry, to my 2 models. Which means he has 7 points now to my 5 points. But we're moving on to the next turn. Turn 4. Let's see what happens across this. Okay, so Drukhari turn 4. The Scourge moved up. A Blaster shot in. I did about 4 wounds to him. The Razorwing jet fighter opened up and killed all the aggressors. The disintegrators just cutting through the Primaris Space Marines. Archon Skari, hero of the match. Blast pistol into the Dreadnought. Rolled a 6 for damage, taking the last 6 wounds off of the Dreadnought. And the combined strike of Lilith and the Hellions successfully eliminated 2 units, because these guys do 2 damage a pop, and Lilith came in and she explodes. She has exploding 5s, so they do 3 hits a person, -4 AP, and she just cut through the Space Marines. So with that, the Space Marines will not be able to recover from the blow, and that will be game. Okay, thanks for watching the battle report. We got Shane here also watching. Say hi, Shane.
Hello.
And Rob, sir. I believe this is the first time my Drukhari have beat your Crimson Fists on camera.
Yes, on camera, yeah.
yeah. On camera, definitely. So, any comments at the end of the game?
Well, I know that as soon as Captain Smashface went in and failed every single invulnerable save with his Storm Shield, it was going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
And especially with the coup de grace, and he took just 5 wounds from like 6 attacks.
Yeah, those Incubi did him in.
Oh, yeah. And then when the Dreadnought started whiffing all of his attacks against just the Witch and was stuck in combat for 2 turns, I knew it was like the game was turning.
Well, just to give you guys an idea, the Dreadnought hit Skari with all of his attacks. Skari failed his 2nd Shadowfield save, 3 dreadnought close combat attacks went through. They do d6 damage apiece, and you rolled 6 damage on 3 dice.
Yeah.
And I passed 2 out of the 6.
No, it's 3 of them.
I passed 3 6 up, feel no pain. So Skari basically was unscathed after getting smacked by a Primaris dreadnought. Very unlikely to happen. But that sort of thing happened there. So what do you think about the table, the mission? Do you feel like it would have been a little different had you changed your army list? Because I know playing on this sort of table is definitely interesting.
It's always a fun table to play on. It's enjoyable. It's a very nice and beautiful table. There's enough bridges for everything to get around, although armies that don't have units that move 12 inches and fly across the table are at a disadvantage. Mm-hmm. But it's still always fun to play. I would have really liked for us to use the up top part a little bit more.
Yeah, that part up
more
there.
of the 3D aspect of the table.
Yeah. We could have had an objective up there or something.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons I like open war for this style of mission, because, you know, we had the 3 objectives, and it was very cinematic, the Drukhari coming into the spaceport and trying to take it out while the Space Marines were frantically trying to put a defense forward in order to save the spaceport. I'm also going to be getting a cool board, I'm commissioning a second sort of table, but this is going to be a Zone Mortalis style board. So I'm going to have all the walls and stuff, and then we're going to be able to have complexes and bunkers as we go down and clear them out, which is going to be pretty neat as well. Well, thanks a lot for tuning in, guys. Leave a comment down below, like, share, and subscribe if you have not already. I hope you enjoyed this. As always, this is Skari, your grateful host, signing off until next time. Skari out. It's an exclusive. We're playing the game.